A funny story, I won't name the rider, but one of the riders was out doing free practice, and they brought his helmet in and they weren't happy with the helmet. So that's okay, the rider walked away. His manager said, don't worry about it. So I said, okay. So I didn't. Went out again for FP2, came back and said, whatever you did to the helmet, fantastic. But nothing had actually got done differently to what we would normally do. I'm Marcus Holt. I do race service for Australian HJC helmets at different events, Australia and overseas. Born in Melbourne, first motorbike was a little YZ80. Used to run around the streets illegally as a kid. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was in retail for about 16 or 17 years, and then went to the wholesale side with Cassons, which was a lot of fun. You get to see everybody in all the different motorbike shops. And I just happened to be at Phillip Island, I think it was 2003, and Leon Haslam's mum, Anne Haslam, came up and said, oh, are you the guy from Arrow? I said, oh, yes. She said, oh, we can't find the race truck. Anyway, the guy that was meant to do it didn't turn up. So I'd had stuff sent to my place for him. So I just set up in the back of my car and did it, and got myself out of trouble, or got the company out of trouble. And then I just really got a real buzz out of doing it. And these days it's just with Shoei and HJC doing the same thing, like Marc Marquez or Onchu, or yeah, there's quite a few riders. Some of the guys have different needs to the others. The majority of the guys like their tear-offs, for instance, just having two on the left-hand side. Quite a lot of the European guys have one, so they'll have 3 tear-offs, but I don't understand why they want to take that way as opposed to just going rip. I remember Cal Crutchlow one day, the helmet he used in Sepang came into Phillip Island, and it had just compacted, so it was moving around on his head all the time. So I had to put in bigger cheek pads to pad it out. People sort of think, oh, it's just cleaning helmets. It's not just cleaning helmets. It's making sure that they're right. They've got to look good. Each rider has his own little idiosyncrasies of which they want it done. So you've got to try and remember that, because if you keep asking the same dumb question, eventually they're going to go, I'm not going to go to him. You never know that a rider might come in and go, can you do this or can you do that? Or it might be, I'm getting a little bit of buffering. Can we fix that? So we'll adjust the spoilers. Race day is probably more relaxed than free practice and qualifying, because there's a lot more expectation on the riders and what they put on themselves to do, to get up to get to pole position. This year it's been a little bit different because you've got the sprint race format, so there's a little bit of extra nerves on the Saturday, but it's good. Favourite rider to work with over the years, probably Josh Brooks. And he always made sure that before he left the circuit, he came in and, thanks Marcus, thanks for looking after my helmet, blah, blah, blah. One year he didn't do it, and I thought, oh, that was a bit odd. And a few days later, I get a phone call from Josh. He's back in the UK. He just rang up to say sorry for not coming in to thank him for doing his helmet. So I really appreciated that. It's nice when you get that recognition from a rider, because a lot of the time you just see their managers and you don't sort of see the rider all the time. It's just one big family. And somebody needs something, somebody will jump in and hand it over, like a spare that they might be looking for. But all the way up to MotoGP, they're still borrowing stuff from different garages and stuff to get themselves out of trouble.